What started as a debate turned into something else entirely. The exchange began with Donald Trump speaking confidently, delivering criticism with certainty and control. He mocked Barack Obama as ineffective, framing his leadership as empty rhetoric. The tone suggested dominance from the outset. Trump thought he was in control. Until this moment, without raising his voice, Obama responded with a statement that shifted the entire atmosphere. The reaction from the audience was immediate, marked by silence, followed by visible shock. The contrast between tone and impact became the defining feature of the moment. The exchange no longer followed a predictable structure. Attention focused entirely on what had just been said. Questions emerged instantly. What exactly had Obama revealed? Why did Trump pause instead of responding immediately? The sudden stillness created tension. The shift was not gradual. It was immediate. The audience remained focused, waiting for the next development. And what happened next completely changed the course of the night. The setting was a live debate held in a Manhattan-packed studio, where both former presidents appeared on stage for a direct discussion. The moderator introduced the format clearly, stating, "No scripts, no safe topics." This set the expectation for an open and direct exchange. The atmosphere was tense from the beginning, shaped by weeks of public criticism leading up to the event. Trump entered with visible confidence, while Obama maintained a composed and measured demeanor. The contrast between the two approaches was evident from the start. This wasn't just a discussion. It was a high-stakes confrontation. The audience understood that the exchange would extend beyond routine political talking points. Trump took control early in the debate. He emphasized achievements related to economic performance and governance. He stated, "Leadership isn't about fancy speeches," and followed with, "I built the strongest economy." His remarks focused on measurable outcomes and direct action. He then directed criticism toward Obama, stating that his leadership consisted of all talk, no action. The tone was assertive, and the pacing was rapid. The audience responded with a mixture of applause and silence, reflecting divided reactions. At this stage, Trump appeared fully in control of the discussion. Obama did not respond immediately. He allowed the statements to settle before speaking. When he did, his tone was calm and measured. He stated, "Results without trust are like building a skyscraper on sand." The analogy introduced a shift in the discussion. The room became quiet, and attention focused entirely on his response. The contrast between Trump's volume and Obama's restraint became more pronounced. The structure of the exchange changed at that moment. Trump escalated his remarks. He mocked Obama's communication style, referring to him as the king of beautiful speeches. He then introduced the concept of family loyalty, stating, "Family comes first." He referenced his 2016 statement, emphasizing the importance of loyalty within leadership. The argument suggested that personal loyalty strengthens decision. His tone remained assertive, and he appeared confident in the position he presented. Obama responded by repeating Trump's own words, "Family comes first." He then asked a direct question, "When does loyalty become an excuse?" The phrasing reframed the argument. Instead of rejecting Trump's statement, he examined its implications. The tone remained calm, but the question introduced a new direction. This approach shifted the focus from assertion to accountability. The argument began to evolve. Trump reacted with increased intensity. His voice became louder, and his responses more immediate. He defended his achievements and continued to criticize Obama's record. The shift in tone suggested frustration. The pacing of his speech changed, becoming less structured. The earlier confidence began to show signs of strain. The audience observed the change closely. Obama introduced a personal dimension to the discussion. By referencing a 2017 statement from Ivanka Trump, he quoted, "Sometimes you have to step back and ask what's right for everyone, not just the family." The inclusion of this quote added context to the earlier discussion about loyalty. Trump reacted immediately, stating, "Leave my daughter out of this." The response indicated that the discussion had moved into more sensitive territory. The tone of the debate intensified further. Obama then presented documented information. He referenced a timeline covering 2017 to 2020, including specific actions such as appointments and protections linked to individuals described as family adjacent. The details added structure to his argument. The audience reaction shifted, with increased attention and visible tension. The introduction of records changed the nature of the discussion from verbal exchange to documented analysis. Trump responded with a counterattack. He directed criticism toward Obama's family, referencing personal activities and alleged benefits. His tone was aggressive and defensive. The shift in focus indicated an attempt to redirect the discussion. The audience reaction remained divided, with both approval and discomfort visible. Obama reframed the discussion again. He stated, "We faced questions openly." He then added, "You turned the White House into a family shield." The phrasing emphasized a distinction between transparency and protection. The statement reinforced his earlier argument about accountability. The audience responded strongly, indicating the impact of the statement. The debate reached a turning point when Obama introduced an audio recording from 2019. The recording included Trump's voice, stating, "Family protection comes first. The rules are different for us." The reaction was immediate. The audience responded with shock and increased discussion. The recording provided direct evidence, altering the dynamics of the exchange. Trump responded by rejecting the recording, stating that it was not authentic. He stood partially, raising his voice. The moderator attempted to intervene, reminding both participants to maintain order. The tension increased significantly. The exchange no longer followed a structured format. Obama continued by presenting additional records, including references to pardons and protections. At this point, a former staff member in the audience stood and stated, "I saw it happen." The statement added another layer to the discussion. The audience reacted strongly, with increased noise and movement. The situation became more complex. Trump's tone shifted further. His responses became defensive, and his pacing slowed. The earlier confidence was less visible. The audience reaction reflected this change, with some individuals appearing uncertain. The dynamic of the exchange had clearly shifted. Obama then asked a direct question regarding a figure described as Barron's protector within Trump's inner circle. The specificity of the question created a moment of silence. The room became still, with attention focused entirely on Trump. The pause extended longer than previous moments. Increasing tension, Trump reacted with a strong emotional response. He stated, "You have no right," and continued with raised volume. The audience responded with simultaneous shouting and discussion. The exchange reached its peak intensity. The structure of the debate had fully broken down. Obama then introduced a second audio recording from 2020, in which Trump's voice stated, "We take care of our own, no matter what." The reaction was immediate and widespread. The audience response included both approval and criticism. The accumulation of evidence reinforced the earlier points. Trump responded by standing and declaring the situation a disgrace. He then left the stage, ending his participation in the debate. The audience reaction was divided, with both applause and disagreement expressed. The departure marked a clear conclusion to his involvement. Obama remained seated. He addressed the audience with a final statement. He said, "Running away proves collapse." He continued, emphasizing that real leadership is courage, and that leadership requires truth over loyalty. The statements summarized the central argument of the exchange. He concluded with the idea that leadership depends on accountability and adherence to principles. He stated, "Real power doesn't need to scream, it only needs truth." The message reinforced the distinction between emotional reaction and measured response. The debate ended with a clear shift in control and narrative.